And straight after that, we've got Poppy. If you haven't seen Poppy's channel, go and check him out too. He's good for a chat. He's fun. And he makes cool stuff.
Hey gang, it's Poppy's Workshop, and we are in the shop. That's right, we're out here in the shop. Tonight, I want to talk about small machines, small tools. Okay, now, if you think anything like toy, when someone says shear line, Unimat SL, not to be confused with that extruded aluminum and plastic thing some people are marketing as a Unimat. No. That was nowhere near any drawing board at Edistyle. That's a Edistall. Anyway, that's a uh, Austrian. Yeah, it's an Austrian company known for their machinery and especially for their very high grade seasoned cast iron. I think they're modest. I really do. The cast iron, my Unimat when I was a kid, I had a late 50s, early 60s. It had the new motor that didn't need 2 steps of pulleying, just one, right? Anyway, it was all this really nice seasoned cast iron. That's what Edistall called it. They were being modest. I think it was Mehanited. I mean, this stuff had no unpleasantness in its grain, nothing wrong on its surface. It was perfect. I stripped it down to bare metal. I was going to repaint it. I didn't like the hammer tone. The castings were so beautiful. I just gave them a couple of coats of polyurethane. The only aluminum in it were the hand wheels and those 2 half donut cups that hold the spring on the headstock. Well, the spring and those, that went over my left shoulder. I didn't want that return spring. Didn't want it. Interfered with the way I work. Now, like I was saying, don't think, oh, the word toy or hobby. That's not a good word either. When I talk about here we are. You see, now there you see my bench grinder. It's the right size for what I want. Variable speed. My bandsaw. Variable speed, wet capable. Made to be worked wet. My primary drill press, my new primary drill press right here, nice one. Cast iron table. There's my belt, my narrow belt sander. Okay? Yeah. There's the milling machine. There's the lathe. We saw the headstock of the lathe over there. Oh! I don't want to hear anyone saying hobby either. Hobby or toy, those are bad words. I never made no toys. I've had to fix them, you know. Someone you know, the kids break a toy, they love it to death. I've fixed many toys. I've had to. You know, how else do you keep your reputation as a miracle worker? Anyway, I pick my machinery for the scope of work I do. I work on small things. I don't need a great big lathe. I don't need a great big milling machine. I don't need a great big anything until I get a great big amount of money, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. Then I'll have the best equipped little part manufacturing shop in the world. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. To illustrate the point, you see here your average center punch. It's a Craftsman, 3/8, wears safety glasses, 42861 WF, and I know this is one I got when I was a kid because I engraved my social security number on it. Okay, just recently I got this, a set with 2 center punches and 3 pin punches. This was a pin punch. Sixteenth of an inch pin punch I made into a prick punch. Much more in the scope of work. But if I get something a little bit bigger, there's this. I've got these 2 pin punches. I may actually use them for a pin punch, although this one here isn't as long as this one. This could be sacrificed to make some other type of chisel or punch type tool. This here is alloy steel. Use safety goggles. That's it. Alloy steel, use safety goggles. But, you know, why this video tonight? Sometimes it just burns me up hearing people talking about hobby machines, you know, hobby size. As far as I was concerned, a hobby machine, you put 4 D batteries in it and you use it in your bedroom at night. But, you know, I set my shop up now for doing hobby. Do a whole kind of things. A lot of different types of things I did professionally. This is basically the scope. My tooling is the scope of the work I've always done. Since I figured out if you have to have a crane to load the part onto the machine, maybe you should explore making smaller parts. I mean, it's true. There could be a day when I trip going from my work area to the boss's office to turn in a cigar box full of parts. Trip and they go all over the floor. 2 or 3 months work gone because you can't pick them up. They've already been stepped on by the idiots you work for, and they run over with the forklift and So all you can do is bang your head against the wall and cry, and bang it some more and cry some more. But on the other hand, I dropped the headstock of my shear line, lathe, milling machine, depends on which machine you put it on, right? I dropped it on my foot. I bent the bracket that this replaced. When I put it in place, the little ear here went ting. You see that? Mild steel, and it's ugly as sin. But next time I drop the headstock on my foot, that'll gash a hole in my foot, not bend. That's an improvement. uh, I. Yes. When you're working small, the sharpness of your tool is paramount. Guys with the full-size machines, and full-size runs anywhere from anything that isn't a Chinese mini lathe or Chinese mini mill. A European, universal mill like a Assyria or one of them. Or maybe, I don't know, a Hardinge 3 by 18 high precision tool room lathe. All right. Anyway, the smaller you work, mill, lathe, it doesn't really matter. The principle is the sharper your tool, the better. Guys with big machines, the full size, big machines, they can use negative rake angle carbide and just blow through because they got 5 and 10 horsepower motors, turning their lathe. You don't have that with a shear line. You have 90 volt, 3 amp. That's not a lot of horsepower. Okay. Bigger machine, you can get by with a tool that isn't sharp. Most of those carbide inserts you see, guys, unless they're the really high-end precision ground after molding, and they are anything like from 4 to 10 times as much as the cheap molded carbide inserts. In the big world, the full-size world, they call them finishing. For a shear line, that would be just about anything you want to cut with it, but it's superfluous mostly. It really is superfluous unless you're going to get into the really hard to machine exotics on your shear line. Carbide is superfluous. You want good high speed steel, Hey, get cobalt. Cobalt's nice, right? And make sure they're good and sharp. As the scale goes down, the need for sharp at the cutting edge increases. As the part size goes down, the need for sharp goes up. And sometimes it goes up at more than just proportional. It can go up logarithmically. Yeah. So if you're going to work small, get good sharp tooling. Keep it sharp. Hone it. Look at it with an 18 power loop at least. Tiniest little irregularity in the surface, either resharpen it or replace it. Yeah. That's one great thing about the high speed. You start with a piece that long, you can resharpen it until it gets down to about there. And it's still cut. Now you're getting closer to the work, but if you pay attention to what you're doing, plus less overhang, protrusion, stick out, whatever you want to call it, for a tool or a part in the machine, the less overhang, unsupported overhang, the less of that, the better. Absolutely. Try to avoid it at all costs. If you can't avoid it, prop it up. Anyway, I'm going to go in the house now and process this video and watch some Hell on Wheels. I've been binging it on the Roku channel. Anyway, good night from California.